right, go live. Hello, friends. We're live. And we're live on YouTube and the Facebook. So if you are watching, feel free to say hi. Let me know you're there. And if you're just watching and just want to watch, that's fine too. I am excited to, well, I don't know what I'm excited to. This is a weird week for me. Okay. Bert's saying baby just got put back to sleep. Yeah. Baby. Okay. That's what we'll talk about today. Schedules. So first I'll follow up on last week's episode where I shared a whole bunch of new products that I was excited about trying. And I'll also share another new thing that I discovered last week after, in the middle of the week, basically, after I last spoke to you. Hi, Amy. Thanks for watching on Facebook. And hi, Kelly, and hi, Mom. Then I will tell you how that's going, that thing that I discovered. Then we'll talk about how schedules are looking moving forward, kind of. So last week we talked about how we don't like using the baby nail clippers, and we got a grinder instead. Game changer. Just do it. Like, I don't even know why I was like, oh yeah, we'll just use the clippers. I don't even know why I ever thought that was a good idea. If you're a first-time mom or first-time parent, just skip right to those, the grinder. Watch last week's episode. I showed you what it looks like. I got mine on Amazon. It was definitely less than $20. Might have only been $10. It's great. Comes with different grits. So when they're newborn, you use the orange pad, and like it's touching her finger. It does not hurt. She does not like cry or anything like that. It's just peeling away the nail, and it's great. So 10 out of 10. I recommend. It's great. The bath thermometer that I got, super cute little otter figure. This is instead of using the meat thermometer from the kitchen. Now, I need your help. I want to know, do you think, that the meat thermometer would be more accurate, and this is a kitchen meat thermometer, right? Electronic reading would be more accurate than a digital otter reader that I got from Amazon that is specifically supposed to be for the bath. Which one would you trust? Because they're 2 degrees off, guys. And it's freaking me out because now I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what temperature I've been putting my baby in the bath to. The good news is it hasn't been too hot. The otter is saying that it's cooler than the meat temperature. So I've been putting the baby in around like 99 degrees. And the otter is saying that it's like 97 and some change degrees. So either way, she's comfortable in there. She loves the bath, and it brings me joy because when she's in there, she's so calm, and she just like smiles up at me, and I don't know, she's just enjoying it. Okay, so Kelly's saying not to trust the meat thermometer as it's not intended for liquid. Okay, fair. Very fair. But my dad is also saying to trust the meat one. The meat one is better than the otter. So maybe what I need to do is go out and get one of those old school, mercury analog reading thermometers and get to the bottom of this. Hi, Christy. Thanks for saying hi. Glad that you're watching. Super excited to see you, Christy, for Thanksgiving. I'm like so excited to head up to Minnesota, see the nephews. I miss Charlie and Wyatt so bad. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. What was the other thing that we showed off last week? Was the nail, the haka. Okay, so I have not used the haka yet. Let me tell you why. And for those of you that don't know what a haka is, it is a silicone bulb that has a flange, and when you are breastfeeding on one boob, you can kind of squeeze the bulb of this haka and kind of like suction it onto the other boob, and it'll. My boobs right now are pins and needles, even just talking about this. It's so crazy. Okay. And it'll suck the milk out, supposedly, of the other boob. Now, I have not used it yet because I am and I'll get to this as kind of like my phase 3 of this episode of what I'm talking about, like planning in future. I have been using my pump quite a bit for, and actually it's part of phase 2 of what I'm talking about today too. But I've been using it to actually start making a stock, guys. I finally have milk in the freezer. I'm one of those women that has milk in the freezer. I'm so excited. Okay. So you guys are saying don't get another thermometer to verify this. You guys, but to be fair, like, let's just say somebody was using the otter and they were taking it all the way up to 99 degrees, but then it would be 101 degrees. I'm not sure what too hot for a baby is, but what if it's off by 2 degrees and I don't know. If it's inaccurate, I kind of want to say something about it, right? Like the product is faulty. So I don't know. I'm just curious about it. Okay. Don't sweat the small stuff. I know. Thank you, Kelly. I need that reminder because I am like queen of sweating the small stuff. I really am. So that was the Haka. Haven't tried it yet. Was there one more thing we talked about last week that was new? I can't remember. Let me know if you remember. All right. So moving on. Last week I was up in the middle of the night for like the millionth time as usual, feeding Amelia. And I love the connection of breastfeeding. I do not like doing it multiple times in the middle of the night. I'm over it. And I'm like, there has to be a better way. I know that other people are doing this better. I've got to get on board with the better way. Yeah. And so I have heard about this taking care of babies. There's an Instagram. She's got a video series. People talk about taking care of babies all the time on the Facebook groups. If you're in like in a new mom group or a baby group. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to check this out, and I'm looking at it and watching the intro video. And mind you, this is literally like 2 a.m, maybe even 3 a.m, somewhere in there. And I'm like, it's only $99. And I can watch these videos and learn how to get my baby to sleep longer stretches at night. I am willing to invest $99 into this. So I did. And I started binge watching those videos that night at 2 a.m. And by 7 a.m. in the morning, I tried that schedule for like everything that I learned, and finished watching the videos. The rest of the videos that day is only 7 videos. Like, I think the total amount of content might be 2 hours. Like, it was so easy to understand and digest, and it was really well done. Guys, by that night, we got our longest stretch of sleep. Well, the following night. I can't remember what it was. It might have only been 3 or 3.5 hours, or maybe it was 4 hours. And then we did it again the next night. And I was like, thank you, Kelly, for actually, yes. Kara is the name of the woman who does it. So Taking Care of Babies. She did a play on her name. So Taking Care of Babies. Appreciate you putting that into text form for me. Yep. And the thing is that I think this was Tuesday or Wednesday. And so Friday we had a wedding to go to, me and Bert. And I'm like, look, the schedule works, so in a nutshell, what it is you feed, you have her play, and then you put her to sleep, and you just continue that cycle. And the premise is that it's babies at this age, and I think it's 0 to 5 months that I'm in right now is the cycle, the videos that I watched. If you start it by week 10 or 11, maybe even 12 at the latest, you can make this a success. I don't know what happens after 12 weeks, what happens for the like months, 3 through 5. Because then there's a new set of videos at 5 months. Anyway, what the thing is at this age is that they have a wake window of 60 minutes to 90 minutes. What that means is, so the moment that they wake from their nap, and assuming that you feed them right when they wake up from their nap, including that feeding, they're going to be awake for an hour to 90 minutes. My feedings, if she's breastfeeding, will take typically half an hour, 15 minutes on each side. Sometimes it'll be, 10 minutes on each side, depending how hungry and how efficiently she is eating. Maybe even what time of day it is. You have a heavier flow in the morning versus at night too. Or at least when I pump, that's the case. So a half an hour of feeding, and then a half an hour to an hour of play or awake time, something that's stimulating the baby. And I was like, well, what counts in this? And honestly, it's even just putting her in the swing, because she's focusing on things and there's movement, and she's, there's her brain is developing somehow just by her being in a swing. I put her on her play mat most of the time for a little bit, and we kind of do a little a circuit, from the play mat and tummy time to the swing, and I'll trim her nails, or I'll give her a bath, or just walk around with her, go for a walk. We've been trying to do a walk a day ever since I found out, like, this is, it's great for babies, to go on a walk a day, get outside and be stimulated by the outdoors. So it's, it's not that bad, except now I really do feel like there's no me time. I mean, there is, but there's no me time. But that's part of the whole thing too. So once you get on this cycle, assume that they need to eat every 2 to 3 hours. So if the wake window is 60 minutes to 90 minutes, you put them down for a nap at 90 minutes, and she's hungry at the 2 hour mark. She's only down for a nap for 30 minutes. And it's possible too that maybe she plays for 90 minutes and is only down for a 20-minute nap. So really what you're working on in your cycle is the feeding schedule, just as long as you follow the cycle of feed, awake, sleep, or feed, whatever. So it's been working, but not perfectly, and it's not supposed to be perfect. It's a general guideline, but it does work in the sense that now she's getting all of her nutrition during the day, because sometimes I would just put her on one boob for 15 minutes and be like, oh, okay, she's good. I'm going to put her down to play. But now that I do a full feeding, she'll go longer. She'll go that full 2.5 to 3 hours between feedings. And it's supposed to be 2.5 to 3 hours for feedings. So yeah, if you can stick to that schedule, then at night she already has her food for the day. She's already met that recommended ounces per day. So she's able to stay asleep longer. And it worked. It's incredible. So, and now too, is like she's used to the routine of going to sleep. We go into the nursery, we make sure that the blinds are closed, and we put on the noise machine, and she gets sleepy. You can see it in her eyes. It's not perfect though. Last night was horrible. Last night, I don't know what went wrong yesterday. I think we started the bedtime routine either too early or too late, but one of the feedings later in the evening threw everything off. She made it a maybe 3 or 4 hours, and then, Bert did her feeding with her, but then she woke up. She basically didn't go back to sleep longer than a 20 or 30 minute period after Bert woke up with her around whatever that was, 2 or 3 a.m. So I was up with her, or maybe that was 1:30, and he was up with her till like 2:30. And I'm like, what are you still doing up? Because I had to get up to pump, because I have to pump every 5 hours. Otherwise I will become engorged and it will hurt, and I will get blocked milk ducts. Anyway, so Bert was up with her so late, and then I took over, got her to sleep, but then she woke right back up, and then it was a rough night. And Kelly, you were right again. She's still very young to be sleep training. So, and you're absolutely right. And I want to be defensive and say I'm not sleep training her, but I know that that's kind of what this is. All I really want to do is be able to get her to do a longer stretch at night. And by having there's tips in the videos on how to get the baby to go back to sleep. And that's like video number 1. And I'll give you kind of like the trick to that is like turn the baby's face away from your face, because when they see your face, they're stimulated. They're looking at you. And then if you kind of roll them on their side and you kind of like bounce them or sway them, they'll be looking at something else, and you'll be able to see their eyes get heavy faster. And then you'll be able to put them down and walk out. And it actually works. It worked for us. It worked for our baby. It might not work for all babies, but it worked. which was a game changer because sometimes for me and Bert, it would take 45 minutes to an hour to get her down, at least at half an hour. And now it's closer to 10 minutes. That all you have to do is kind of rock her in this way and then she's down. Huge difference, huge difference. So yeah, that's all we're trying to really get to is just a longer stretch at night. And we have accomplished that, I think, 3 out of the last 4 nights. And I felt like I had so much energy and it was great. I'm hoping it's not a fluke and I'm hoping that we're back on track for tonight. So we will see how it goes. Next Monday, I'll let you know how we did for the full week this week. But anyway, oh, Kimmy, going to get a flu shot? Good. I am planning on getting mine. Bert and I are trying to offset, so we're not both feeling the effects of that. But we both need to get that too in the COVID shot. Yes. Okay. And then so my parents babysat for us on Friday night when Bert and I had a wedding to go to. So that was the first time we were away from the baby for an extended period of time. What were we away? It was like 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours we were away. 8 hours, I think. Can't do the math right now. But anyway, I had my parents come and watch her. Said, hey, we're trying this new cycle. And I sent them the login and the videos to watch. Just not all 7 of them. I'm like, just watch these 2 so you understand what we're trying to do. And yeah, sure enough, they did well with the schedule. And Amelia responded as predicted. And yep, they're 100% batting 100 over here. So I also left them some notes and they recorded what time they fed her and it worked. So that's nice. Okay, you guys are all saying hi to each other in the chat. That's adorable. And yeah, so Mom and Dad, if you want to come over anytime and take over the schedule, please do. That's totally welcome. I have been trying all day today to squeeze in. Every time I put her down for a nap, I run to the basement and I start doing measurements so I can get the drywall up in the section behind me. And I have made it about a third of the way on the drywall, making my markings for my cuts. And that's like after 3 tries of coming down here. Oh my God. But progress is progress and, making every minute count. Okay. So your comments are cracking me up over here. So this kind of leads me into what's our future. It's, the week where I have to go talk to my boss about going back to work. I'm supposed to return to work after 3 months of maternity leave, which would put us right at the beginning of November, which is coming up fast, really fast. I won't lie, if I had the option to take another month to 3 months of maternity leave, I would gladly do that. I feel like this time that I have with her is extremely special and precious. And as, repetitive and tiring as it is, I want to do it. I feel like I don't know how I'm going to feel, but I can imagine myself regretting, not spending this time with her, because I'm only going to get it once. But I need to return to work and I need to figure it out. I need to figure out how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to be a working mom. And this is something I've always wanted to do. So be a working mom. My idea is that I'm going to go into this meeting kind of with the boundaries I want to set. We do not have a mother's room at work. I can't imagine where they would put one. Our office is pretty packed. We have kind of an open format. There's a lot of glass walls and not a room that is mother roomable, unless we hang up some extra, I don't know, walls or something. I'm not sure how we could do it. So that'll be really interesting to see what he says about that. Because if he's like, yeah, you can go pump in the bathroom, I can be like, okay, I'm not going to sit on the toilet and do it. And there's no surface where I can do it in privacy in there. So how are you going to accommodate me being able to pump in the bathroom? I'm not, I don't know. I've definitely heard stories, and I'm sorry if I'm being a little too, needy here. But I remember working at the marketing agency many years ago and hearing one of my coworkers in the bathroom in the stall pumping, like sitting on the toilet and doing it. And I don't think it should be that way. And I'm standing up for mothers' rights and demanding that, if I'm to be in the office and I'm a breastfeeding mother, there needs to be a comfortable and reasonable place for me to do that. Yeah. And yes, thank you, Kelly. It's time I won't get back. And yeah, no, I cannot imagine back in the day getting only 2 to 4 weeks of leave. And no wonder that, so many women were out of the workplace. No, because so many women would probably quit their jobs or get fired because they would have the same feelings I'm having right now, which is, this time is precious and you should spend it with your baby. So I'm glad that now that more companies are being aware of, taking care of women and parents. And so I feel like it is my duty to make sure that I ask for these things and don't settle for sitting on a toilet and pumping, and make sure that I get what I want here. That's right. Thanks, Christy. I agree. Be firm. I got to do for all the women, all the mothers, all the parents. So my plan is take this 6 months at a time, right? Like my plan is to at least make it to 6 months of breastfeeding. I have to educate myself. I have no idea how this baby-led weaning and all that kind of stuff goes. Someone will have to educate me. Probably ask Kelly what I'm supposed to do. Anyway, I want to make sure I make it to 6 months, which means there's 3 more months of minimum that I want to be breastfeeding. So when I stopped by the office today because I was in the neighborhood for the dentist appointment and I just wanted to say hi, and it kind of dropped it on my boss. I'm like, look, we made accommodations for daycare for 2 days a week and I would like to work from home. And he goes, okay, well, we've had kind of a lot of, he seems to think that certain people in the office resent the people that work from home because there are other people that work from home or even from another state. Who cares? Take this one case at a time. And he even said that, he would, but we'll discuss what's best for me. And I said, look, just let's talk about it 6 months at a time. So I planted that seed. I'm going to go into this meeting well organized. I already have ideas on making things more efficient, how I see things going so that we could have an even more successful, next year. Because we're at the time of our annual cycle where summer is winding down, so we get into like a slower time where we're kind of don't have as many events, we don't have as many teams playing with us, so it's a time to kind of reorganize and prepare for next year. I think I have a lot more to contribute to the company than I have in the past, and going in with some new ideas. And now that somebody has done my job for 3 months while I'm gone, I'm hoping that person can kind of stick around and it won't just be me wearing all these hats at work. So I feel like I'm in a really good position to set what I want, at this company. I'm not interviewing or looking anywhere else in particular right now. However, the thought has crossed my mind to be at a company that's a little bit more family friendly if the stress levels get to be too much, or if I'm not getting enough time with Amelia, especially in the summer. That's our busy time at our company. And I'm sorry, to be a family, in the summer, like vacations and activities, she's not going to be in school. Like, I'm thinking like, 5-6 years down the road, whatever, when she's, like summers are for family. I don't know. It's going to be really, really tough. So we'll see what value he sees me contributing to the company and if there's ways to make this work, because I really do love working there. So that's what's spinning around in my head, guys. It's kind of crazy. Now, if you're listening out there, and you love me and love and see my potential and want to offer me a job, please send it on over. I will consider it. Yes, so Kelly's, they should make reasonable accommodations for a mother's room if you must go back to the office. Exactly. So that's, again, why I think I have kind of an upper hand here is if they don't have a mother's room, they can't make me go back into the office even 2 times a week. If I want to work from home Tuesdays and Thursdays, even though Amelia's at daycare, that still saves me the commuting time getting into the city and back. I can get a lot more done without being interrupted by the baby all day. Those could be my 2 most productive days if I can work from home those days too. Yeah. And summer is the best part of Chicago. I agree with that too. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I will give you a personal update here too on physical therapy. So I'm going twice a week to repair my pelvic floor, and I've touched on this a little bit over the past few weeks since I've started. If you're a mom and you never went through physical therapy after having a baby, and you have leakage, if you will, or if you pee a little when you sneeze or whatever, it's actually something you can work on even years after you've had a baby. So I will say it's a lot of, I don't know, there's some internal work you have to do, some like you if you're comfortable with that, meaning they will kind of finger you I don't know how to put that nicely, but if you're willing to do that, it is something you can fix, and I'm excited to fix it. I've been having a lot of pain on my right side, and last week they noticed that right by my C-section scar is also another little scar, and I go, oh yeah, I had a hernia back in high school, and even though it was so long ago, and that, I don't know, the scar's maybe 2 inches wide, and it's almost touching my C-section scar, they think that maybe that's what's actually causing me so much pain on my right side, why it's been so hard for me to get to, I don't know, like to feel better on my lower half. Okay, and Kelly, thank you for saying this too. That's not everyone's experience with pelvic floor PT. There is other ways of repairing it too. You don't just have to do internal work. It's what I'm going through, but they're also working with me on my hip, on mobility, on everything that's connected to that area. And so there's like scar tissue, and that is pulling on things, and it's, I don't know, they show me printouts and diagrams and everything like that of body parts, and I'm like, okay, just tell me what to do. I'm not going to repeat it here because I'm not a doctor and I would probably mess it up. But it's fascinating, and physical therapy is just, it's so cool what they can do to repair any kind of injuries or traumas to the body, I suppose. So it's work, and I'm working on it, and I will say it's really hard to do it at home because as much as I want to, every time I go to start this like 20-minute like routine of exercise and stuff, Amelia wants to be held or has to move through her cycle, and it's not exactly, I haven't been able to do it when she's napping yet because I'm so excited to come and cut drywall and all these things. There's just so much I want to do. Whenever they say, oh, what'd you do on maternity leave? I took care of a baby, damn it. I didn't do anything else. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Laura, thanks for saying hi on Facebook. Appreciate you hanging out for a minute. Yeah, well, this is something that they're wondering if the hernia scar and the cesarean scar are kind of messing things up out there, like kind of like intertwined and like tugging on the fascia of something. I think that's the right word. So it's just something that they're kind of playing the idea of. They also needled me last week, kind of like acupuncture, but the needles go a little bit deeper. And I didn't look at it because I'm now better with needles, but she was describing it. And I'm like, you need to stop describing this to me because I'm getting a little lightheaded. And she's like, she put the needle in and she twisted it. She's like, it's like putting spaghetti around a fork, and you can at some point feel it get real tight because all the fibers are wrapped around it. I'm like, stop right there. Do not describe any more of this to me while you have needles in me. And then and then she's like, we're going to zipper all these needles together because they're very flexible. So they stick the needles in, and then they like kind of they like braided them, and then they let me sit there for 10 minutes. I don't know. I can't tell you if it actually did anything better yet, but I guess it's just part of the healing process. And they're like, it's included in the thing, so we could do this every week if you want. And I'm like, let's do it every week, but please don't tell me what you're doing. Just do it. Okay, so this is interesting. They probably use surgical mesh for the hernia. I still feel occasional discomfort from mine when I work out. Okay. I mean, honestly, when they would ask me if I had any pain on my scar, I would always say on my right side, and that's where my hernia scar is. So this is kind of all making sense. It's very possible it's too close to the C-section scar. And the mesh crosses multiple muscles. So this, yeah. Guys, this might be what it is, and hopefully all the things that they're doing will help that. So we'll work with this. This will be our working theory. I'll keep doing my exercises, and they'll keep needling me, and we'll hopefully feel better. And what are we doing here? 16 weeks, 12 weeks? I can't remember how long we're going, but quite a while. So, all right, I have to get up to dinner. We're having fish tonight. Can't wait. Eating healthy, trying to just take care of my body. Got to do it. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and we'll catch up next Monday. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.